going to show you how to work with master pages and some of the cool features that master pages allow you to do on your website. And it's really important to use master pages as well, because it's a real time saver in terms of building a website. So what you can see here is currently I've got 4 pages in my plan view. I've got homepage, products, services and location, and if I just double click on the homepage to go and look at that in design view, you'll see that I've created a navigation menu. I'll talk about how to make navigation menus in a later video. But the key thing here is that I've created this navigation menu on the home page, but when you go and look at my other pages in plan view, they don't have the navigation menu. So that means that I have to go into each page and build the navigation menu again for each page. Well, that seems a bit time consuming, and this is where master pages come into play. So if I go back onto the home page and if I just select that navigation menu and just delete it to remove it, what you should do is in plan view is you should build content that is going to appear on every one of your pages. You should add that to your master page. So anything that appears on your master page will appear on every one of the web pages within your website. So the kind of content that you have on every single one of your pages would be things such as a banner, it would be things such as a footer, it might be social media icons, it might be a logo, and of course it will be a navigation menu. So those kind of things should go on a master page. So if I double click the master page and then go to the widgets library and then go to my menus and add a horizontal menu and just drag and drop that on, it builds a navigation menu. It's making it based on all the top level pages, that's fine. I'm just going to stretch that out, place it into position, so it's going to go at the top again, and I'm just going to stretch that across so it fits the entire width of my page. Might make it a little bit taller as well. There we go, we have a navigation menu. But the key thing is that this is on the master page. So if I now go back to my plan, you'll see that that navigation menu instantly appears on all of my pages. So if I go onto any of those pages, such as location, it's already got the navigation menu in place because it's based on the master page. If I go back to plan, you'll see that all of these pages are related to an A master, which means that they are related to this master page down here, which is called A master. You can rename this if you want to by simply just double clicking on it. So again, if I go back into my master page and I now add a little logo that I want to appear on every page, I'm going to do that by placing an image on the page, and I'm going to use Command or Control D, and what that does is it goes to the import dialog box. I'm just going to choose a nice small image, so I'm going to go for the small girl. So I'm just going to click on that and say open, and then I can click and drag out where I want that image to go on my page. Just going to grab that and just move it into place. Now again, because this is on the master page, if I go back to plan, it appears on every one of my pages. So this is the key thing to bear in mind about masters, is that when working with masters, anything you place here will appear on the pages that are associated with that master page. Another thing to notice is that if I go onto any one of my pages, I can't edit this navigation menu, and I can't edit or move this image. So things that are placed on a master page are locked out, and you can't edit them on the individual pages themselves. To edit them, you must return back to the master page, and then you can edit the content that you have on those pages. So you can change these kind of things. So I'm just going to put on a rectangle here as well. So I might just drag out a rectangle across the bottom of the page, pretend that's going to be a footer, and what I do is I'll just quickly fill that rectangle with a colour. So I'm just going to change that to red. Again, because that's on my master page, if I go to the plan, it should appear on all of my pages based on the master page. But here's a really neat trick about master pages. So not only do they save you time by placing stuff on a master page, it appears on all of your pages. If I then come to my master page and I decide, actually, I don't want that image of that girl, I'm going to delete that, and Command D, I'm going to put on a different image. So this time I'm going to put on a small seal, and I'm going to place it roughly in the middle of the page. So if I decide to change that, when I go back to my plan, you'll see that change has occurred on every one of my pages. Now you can also have more than one master page. So if I click the little plus symbol here, I can create a B master. Again, I could name that with anything I wanted to. Now on this particular page, what I can do is I can duplicate the A master. That would be a more sensible thing to do. I'm just going to close down that one that I created there, duplicate the A master, and I'm going to name that as my B master. So I'm just going to get rid of the copy bit, and I'm just going to call that the B master. So to duplicate, all I did was right mouse click and choose duplicate from there to create this. Now with the B master, I can say for this page I want this one to be based on, if I right mouse click, I can choose that to be based on masters, and I can say I want you to be based on the B master page. So you can see that home, products and location are all based on the A master, but services is based on my B master. So if I go into the B master and I pick up that rectangle and I change that color now to green, and then go back to my plan, only this page will show the changes relating to the B master. And that's really important. Say you were building a 20-page website, or say you were building a website for a huge company like Tesco's, and you have a grocery section on your website, you have an electrical section on your website, and you have a clothing section on your website. What you might do is you might create 3 different masters for all of those pages. One master will have a color scheme and content that's related to groceries, another master might have a color scheme or content that is related to electricals, and of course the last master will have a color scheme and content related to clothing. And what you would do is you'd make sure that those pages that you want related to electricals have that master template attached to them. So that's master pages, really very powerful, and you should really get into the habit of using them when you want to add content that you know is going to appear on every one of your pages.